Now let us discuss the popular drama during the 20th century literature. The drama was also one of the dominant forms or genre that was being into practice during the 20th century. And there are quite a few dramatists that we must know from the exam point of view. So let's discuss them. As we progress towards the postmodern period, that is the mid 20th century onwards, we see a rise in the genre called theatre. Many dramatists or playwrights came in the mid 20th century and popularized the form of drama. Like the literature of this period, the drama also dealt with the sense of alienation and disillusionment that the average people felt. So, drama also became the mouthpiece of the society during this time. Many new forms of theatre like modernism, expressionism, impressionism, and other forms of experimental theatre came into this period. Many theories developed during this period, like the gender theory and the postmodern theory, which we will study next, which came into this period. The dramatists of the early 20th century were more interested in naturalism, and it was their idea to deal with the real problems of life in a realistic manner through their plays. The drama of the period was not a drama of action as we see in the Elizabethan age or the Restoration period, but the plays that were being performed during this period were more of the plays of ideas which the dramatists wanted to spread in society through their plays. The major dramatists of this period were George Bernard Shaw, Henrik Ibsen, Samuel Beckett, Arthur Miller, Tom Stoppard, Harold Pinter, Albert Camus, Jean-Paul Sartre, and John Osborne. Let's first start with George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw was an Irish playwright, critic, and political activist. He was born in Dublin, Ireland, but later moved to London, where he began writing novels and plays. He wrote more than 60 plays, and two of his most famous plays are Man and Superman, published in 1902, which is a comedy which explores the themes of marriage and morality. Second was Pygmalion, published in 1913, which inspired the musical My Fair Lady, exploring social class. We have Eliza Doolittle, the flower girl, who is the central character in this play Pygmalion. Henry Higgins, a phonetics professor, makes a bet that he can transform a common girl into a duchess through his training of her speech and etiquettes. Then he wrote Saint John in 1923, which is a play based on the life and trial of Joan of Arc, a French heroine who led the French army to achieve many victories during the 100 Years' War that happened in medieval England. I talked about the 100 Years' War in my videos on medieval time period, which you can go and check out. Third play by him was Major Barbara, written in 1905, which is a play that critiques capitalism and explores the themes of morality. Shaw also wrote novels, and some of his famous novels are Immaturity, which is his first novel and explores the themes of identity and self-discovery. Then he wrote The Irrational Knot, and then Love Among the Artists. But Shaw is majorly known for his plays. The next playwright is Henrik Ibsen. Henrik Ibsen was a Norwegian playwright and a theatre director. He is also considered as the father of realism. Some of his most important plays are A Doll's House, published in 1879, which explores the themes of feminism, individualism, marriage, and social conformity. The leading character in this play is the woman named Nora Helmer and her struggle for independence and self-discovery in a patriarchal society. Second important play by Ibsen is Ghosts, published in 1881. It explores the moral decay within a seemingly respectable family. Then we have An Enemy of the People, 1882, which is a play that tells the story of a doctor who discovers that the town water supply is contaminated and he is confused whether to speak out about this or not. The next important playwright is Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett was an Irish novelist and a playwright and also a poet. He is one of the most famous playwrights of the modern and postmodern era. His famous plays are Waiting for Godot, published in 1953, which is considered to be Beckett's masterpiece. The play follows two characters or two tramps, Vladimir and Estragon, who are waiting for someone named Godot, who never arrives. The play also has a famous line which is repeated again and again by the characters, which is nothing happens, nobody comes, nobody goes, it's awful. The next important play by Beckett is Endgame, published in 1957, which is a play about four characters trapped in a room representing the themes of the futility of human existence. The third play by Beckett is Krapp's Last Tape, published in 1958, which is a solo play where the protagonist Krapp listens to his past self-recordings and reflects on his life's failures and regrets. Then he published two more important plays, which are Happy Days and Not I. Beckett explores the themes of absurdism, existentialism, minimalism, repetition, and anti-realism in his plays. His plays later on influenced the writings of other playwrights like Eugene Ionesco, Jean Genet, Harold Pinter, and Tom Stoppard. The next one is Arthur Miller, who was a renowned American playwright, and some of his important plays are The Crucible. Crucible is a dramatization of the Salem witch trials, which happened during the 16th and 17th century in the place called Salem. The play shows the themes of hysteria, intolerance, and destructive powers of false accusations on someone. The second important play by him is Death of a Salesman, which is published in 1949. It is a tragedy that critiques the American dream through the life of its central character, Willie Loman, a salesman who is middle-aged and who is struggling with his failures in his life. Then he published another play called All My Sons in 1947, which is Miller's first major success, which shows the moral complexity of a family relationship. View from the Bridge, The Prize, Broken Glass, After the Fall, The American Clock, etc., which gained certain popularity. The next important playwright is Harold Pinter. Harold Pinter is a British playwright, poet, and a screenwriter famous for his unique writing style. His plays also explore the themes of existentialism and absurdism. Some of his famous plays are The Caretaker 1959, The Homecoming 1965, Betrayal 1978, The Dumbwaiter 1957, Ashes to Ashes 1996. Pinter won Nobel Prize in Literature in 2005, and he also won Tony Award for Best Play, which was given to him for his play The Homecoming. Then we have another important playwright called Albert Camus. Albert Camus was a French philosopher, novelist, and playwright. He is best known for his concept of absurdism, which means that humanity is searching for meaning and purpose in life. So, whenever a question is asked about who is the father of absurdism, it is Albert Camus. Some of his famous plays are Caligula, The Just Assassins, The Myth of Sisyphus, which is not technically a play but a philosophical essay which explores the themes of absurdism and human condition. Then we have another playwright called Jean-Paul Sartre. Sartre was a French philosopher, playwright, and a critic. Sartre is regarded as one of the most important figure in existential theory, which was a philosophical movement that laid stress on individual freedom and individual choices. Some of his important plays are: the first is No Exit 1944. It is a one-act play that explores the concept of hell. Then he wrote Flies in 1943, which recreates the Electra myth given by Sigmund Freud. The play explores the theme of guilt, responsibility, and freedom. Then we have Dirty Hands, published in 1948. Then The Respectful Prostitute, published in 1946, which is a play criticizing American racism and American hypocrisy. The next important playwright is John Osborne. John Osborne was a renowned British playwright and screenwriter who is famous for his groundbreaking play Look Back in Anger, published in 1956, which is considered as a landmark of the angry young man movement in English literature in the 20th century. Osborne's plays often explore themes of social class, identity, and the struggle of post war Britain. Another important playwright is Tom Stoppard. Tom Stoppard is a famous British playwright, screenwriter, and a novelist. He was born in Czechoslovakia, but due to Nazi occupied Czechoslovakia, he fled to England and settled there with his family. Some of his major plays are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which was published in 1966, which is an absurdist tragicomedy that explores two minor characters from Shakespeare's famous play Hamlet. He received the Tony Award for this play. The next important plays by Tom Stoppard are Jumpers, Travesties. These two plays also received the Tony Awards. The Real Thing, Arcadia, The Invention of Love, The Coast of Utopia, Rock and Roll, and The Hard Problem are some of his other important plays that were popular during his lifetime. He also received Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay named Shakespeare in Love. With this, I end the 20th century literature. You will mostly find questions based on Match the Column, which has authors on one side and their novels or plays or poems on the other side. And all you need to do is to correctly match them. Or else you may find questions like which among the following is not a play or a novel written by so and so author. So you must be therefore able to identify the play which does not belong to that particular writer. The only key to remember the exact answers is to practice the mock tests or the quizzes at the end. Thank you, and I shall see you in the next video.